David, thank you so much for joining Pictomic today. I really appreciate your help in describing how you are using our solution to do your product photography and to do your website. So to begin with, let me quickly share your setup. So I have your setup shown here. So the first thing I would like to ask you is just how did you find out about Pictomic and what exactly caused you to look for a solution that Pictomic offered?
Well, my business, I sold two businesses, and I'm in a stage of retirement, and I've started a third business making metal sculpture. And in order to sell metal sculpture, you need three-dimensional images for art. People want to see art from all directions and on all sides. So I started a couple of years ago looking for solutions like animated GIFs and MP4, something that I could put on a website and host on a website, and a visitor could view it and get a good idea. And in my reading about internet marketing, they said the conversion rate for using three-dimensional images was much higher than using static images. So I started
Oh,
looking for a solution, and after some looking, I ran across Pictomic on the internet and read their material, and it seemed like what I needed. And I contacted Pictomic, and in fact, Darian, I spoke to you, I believe, and you were most helpful
yes.
in explaining it. And I didn't have a digital camera at the time. So I purchased a digital camera, an entry level camera, and then
Hmm.
I ended up purchasing the software and the lighting equipment. The lighting equipment is looks big, but it's fairly inexpensive. Uh,
Hmm.
your main cost is in the camera and of course some sort of PC and the software. Uh,
Got you.
but
Okay.
again, the entry level investment for a business is not expensive.
Good,
It's
good.
certainly doable.
It's certainly doable. And do you have any experience doing photography, or have you done any photography in the past?
No, I had, well, I shouldn't say that I have no photography experience. One of my companies was a technical writing company, and we did oil and gas related work. And all of the reports we developed had photos that we had to take in the field and implement the photos into the reporting.
Hmm.
However, the photos were not three-dimensional. They were just static photos. But in developing reports and manuals and user instructions, it was an excessive amount of photos and developed graphics that we had to incorporate, both develop the graphics and embed them into the reports.
Hmm. Hmm. So you had some experience with cameras, but not anything in terms of doing product photography, right? That was
No,
something that you more or less. And how did you find our Visere Captura software in terms of guiding you and helping you take good product photography pictures?
well, it was fine. I got started well, and of course, I reached a point. I call it I hit the wall with
Hmm.
learning knowledge, and then I was fortunate in that Pictomic offered some training, a very reasonably priced training, and I took that, and it really opened me up, and I got a good explanation where I could move forward a lot faster. And now I've created probably 20 or so WebP spin images, and I'm using them on my internet site, my live internet site.
Perfect, perfect. And we'll provide that internet site as part of our video so that people can go and look at it and see your art. So, in terms of the features of the software, I, can you name one or two or three of the most important features that you feel make your work productive and efficient? Or just generally help you get a good set of 360s out there?
Well, in that picture you've got up on the screen, at the behind the backdrop is my welding shop back there, and
Hmm.
I make products back there, and I coat them and get them in a finished state, and then I bring them out where this table is, and I'm able to do the photography, and I'm able to set it up and make a 3D image very quickly. Now, the first one I did, it took a long time, because I was in a learning curve, but now I can finish a product, bring it out there, and in an hour or less have a 3D image that I can put on my website along with the stills.
Hmm.
In making the 3D image, you end up with uh, a couple of dozen stills, and I choose 4 or 5 stills out of there to include with the spin image. So for my three-dimensional products, that's products you can see all around. I have a spin image, and then I have 3 or 4 or 5 still images where the customer can select and zoom in on them.
That's nice. And um, in terms of the tools within Visere Captura, are there some that tools like, for example, the background removal pro? How does that work? And I know it's a bit of a learning process that in of it and of itself, but how did you find that as a tool that's helping you remove and create transparent images, remove backgrounds and create transparent images?
Well, my initial go at the background removal was with the magic wand tool, but after using it a couple of times, of course, it takes a little more detail, and sometimes it removes too much, sometimes it doesn't remove enough. But then I got to using the background removal pro, and it was very effective. It has, I think, 3 or 4 different algorithms that you can run that do various degrees or different degrees of background. So you can run one mode, and then if it works well, you can keep that, or if not, you can run it in another mode, the background removal. So it's very helpful. It's very powerful. It does take some learning and how to use it, but
Mhm.
uh, it's it does work, and it's very powerful.
Great. I'm glad to hear, and that's a product or a feature of our product that we continuously work on. So we're hoping to add some improvements in the future as well. What about the 360 integration with the turntable? Did you find that to be very much a one-click process, or can you describe that process? How easy was it to use the turntable together with the software?
Well, you use the magic word. It's one click. You
Hmm.
click it. When you go to set your shoot your 360s, you set your image up there, and then you have a live camera version. In that photo, you can see it up on the screen of that laptop, and
Hmm.
you can go through and set your aperture and your exposure and shutter speed and all this stuff right there on the screen, and the effect is right in front of you. And once you get that done, you get it set up, and you set the if you want to use a crop image, if you want to have the output cropped to a certain size, you can do that, and then you move over to shoot the 360s and define. It's real easy. It's all on the screen. You define how many images you want to take. I take one image every 10 degrees, so that's in a 360 rotation, that's 36 images. And once that's set, it'll maintain that default until you change it. And then when you're ready to go, um, you just press OK or start, and have yourself a cup of coffee, and it'll shoot all 36 images. You have to set your lighting. You have to adjust your lighting. The lighting I have there, I have a couple of soft boxes. I have some indirect lighting and a focus video uh, camera lighting there on the right. And you get the right lighting right, you try to get rid of the shadows where you can. If you can't get rid of them, you're going to have to rely on the background removal tools to do that. But
Mhm.
that all works pretty well. It works according to how it's stated in the user instructions.
Great, great to hear. And what about your business? You have your website up. How have you had any sales? What's the impact of the 360s? Do you feel like it's
I'm
helping
I'm
your
I'm
business?
getting inquiries and I'm in the process of closing sales. So it's working as designed. The website is I'm still in the stages of completely releasing the website. Um,
Hmm.
so it's not 100% like I want it to end up, but it's got a lot of information. I'm constantly updating the website. This weekend, I added a couple of new images, and I'm getting nothing but positive results. And I will say, the comment that I hear from almost every person is they love the 360 spin
Mm,
images. They want to see the object from the back, and that supports my reading about uh, the improved conversion rate. The conversion rate is the conversion of the customer to buy the product or to be interested in the product enough to inquire about it. So the
correct.
spin images are really working, and the proof is in the comments.
Perfect. That's awesome. It's great. It's glad to hear. I'm glad to hear that. So, in some sense, the solution will pay for itself in a fairly short amount of time, I assume, or a reasonable amount of time. And then once that's done, then you'll have continuous benefits of the solution for your future products.
That's correct. Yeah, the as I said in the beginning, the overall investment from a business standpoint is not tremendously high. I mean,
Right.
if you have a compatible camera, you don't have that expense. Actually, the camera is the most expensive thing that you have. But if you have a digital camera, a mirrorless digital camera, you probably got 50% of your cost already covered.
That's nice. Nice to hear. So I think that's pretty much, I think we covered everything, how you found us, how you use the products, how you benefited from it. I'll just try to close the interview with basically giving you uh, an open platform to say anything else that you want to add or anything that we haven't covered. If you do have any other thoughts or comments you'd like to make.
Well, the one comment I would like to make is it's refreshing to deal with a company like Pictomic, where when you send them a question, no matter how simple it is, you get a reply and you get a comprehensive reply very quickly. I deal with so many companies that communication is an issue, but that's not the case with Pictomic. They're very responsive, very professional.
Thank you so much, David. We really appreciate your feedback, and we appreciate you as a customer. And we hope that you will have tremendous success with the 360s and also a lot of fun. I think sometimes with photography, what can happen is that once you get going and you figure out the different, you climb that learning curve, then it can become actually a fun process. So
Yeah,
we thank you for being a customer.
you're welcome. I enjoyed it.
All right, thank you so much.